Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Coffee with Jim and James. James, you might notice something different, but let me start off with these words. The weather outside is frightful.
Is it?
But the fire is so delightful.
Is it in Florida?
No.
Is it the same?
No, it's 81 degrees right now.
What is Christmas time in Florida like?
It's different. It's very festive, lots of lights, and people really can do a lot with their lights in the grounds. When I used to live in Minnesota, you had snow on the ground, so all your lights were up high and very dangerous. But here you could see like lawns that are lit up and everything.
Palm trees?
Oh, yeah. They wrap
thing?
palm trees. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, that's a big thing.
Yeah, it doesn't get super cold here in Texas, but I mean, it does. We definitely have snaps and weather and whatnot, like last year. It's funny you say that, Jimmy. I see the picture there behind you.
Yep. Normally I'd have the Coffee Jim and James, and I replaced it with a little Christmas type of.
It's because it's
decoration.
Christmas. Yeah. And I have been filling out Christmas cards, which is something. You're welcome. I am the designated writer for the couple.
Wait, are we a couple?
I think, I don't know.
Let's just leave that alone.
No, but for over the last, probably 10, 12 years, I've sent Christmas cards out to clients, right? So back in my old world, so probably longer than that, like almost 15 years.
Okay.
So in my old life, my previous life, I would handwrite, like Christmas cards to the clients. I didn't have a lot. We started from nothing. We literally started with no clients. And so over the years, it was always a really nice experience to see how long it took me and how many there were, right? Because you would remember every single one of them in an environment like that. And then it got to where we had 100 clients, or 50 clients, and then 100 clients. But it was always such a nice thing this time of year to do it and realize how much you have grown and how the people were still here that you had sold 5 years ago. And so over 10 years, you can imagine how that task grew, but it was always something I always wanted to do myself. So then fast forward, Energy WorldNet, and we did them here as well. And I remember seeing that number grow and how much space it took to fold them all and put them together, and how many people would come help us. And it almost became like team building for our group, where other groups got to sit in and fold and stuff, the Christmas cards. And there was a time we used to sign them all.
Yeah.
Things like that, right? So now, just trying to make it better, trying to make a little more sense. And then this year, doing it for Coffee with Jim and James. And again, kind of seeing that grow and seeing, again, back at home base, I went in there when we were stuffing cards and seeing 5, 6, 7, 8 people in there just stuffing Christmas cards. How blessed are we? But it just made me think, Jimmy, about how kind of those traditions around our company. I'll say our company, I'm sure all of us have them, but almost these Christmas end of year activities, it started for us at the ELT retreat in November. It kind of kicks off the season of planning, getting excited for the next year. We talk about giving it all away a lot as part of our kind of goal for this podcast. And it kicks off a season of kind of giving it all away.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And it's interesting that some of the little things that really spark that feeling inside of you when it's the holiday season, and it could be cards, it could be whatever the case may be. I will say though, what you said about, end of year can be a very stressful time for a lot of folks. One, you have family that you're trying to get together with, or send presents or send cards or do something. You also have the business side of it, where We're trying to wrap up year end. We're trying to plan for 2022. We're doing all this
budgets
stuff.
and goals and
Oh
yeah,
my goodness. It can
sure.
get intense. And I think it's, gets back to what we talk about too, is sharpening the saw. I don't want to, ride that one like a whatever, but it's important to balance it at times, so you can come out of the gates and get things off your plate now, so you can start 2022 with fresh eyes and that rejuvenation and that fire. Don't get bogged down to it. But I have to tell you, for me, I really love your card. Yeah, I mean, that's something, and you are very passionate about it. Like, if you see this stack, and it's probably going to grow too. You got it there?
I don't think I have it out here.
Okay. Well, for me, I have to be honest with you. Sometimes it's even doing something simple like going to driving around at night and seeing holiday lights, Christmas lights.
We did that last night. Yeah.
It just gives you that feeling inside where, and I don't want to say like that feeling when you were a kid, because I think it lasts all the way through, but there's something about that pure and fun feeling that I just enjoy. And, it's great for us to get together and to do this. I'm sorry, you were going to say something.
No, I was saying we try to make it a special time of year for our company too, because we really lean into kind of the spirit of giving, and we see it in all different ways. And I'll tell you something neat that we did this year that we'd done previously, but this was the first year kind of in this fashion and with as many folks as we have now. Is we did we brought Santa in, and so that our families could our local families could come through and bring their kids and see Santa, safe and with, more control there. And then you got in on it. I know there's some pictures somewhere. I'm sure Amy's going to throw them up, but we did a virtual option as well where they could Zoom with Santa. And
hybrid almost, right?
Yeah. So we had so many folks that were able to pop in and even remotely and get some time that way. And so many people took advantage of it. And it was just a way to kind of give back to our employees that we could. And there's so many of those little things, this was the time of year when we did a lot of team building. We didn't get to have a Christmas party this year, but some of our groups did get to, sync up and do some different things. We always ring the bell, Salvation Army, locally, and we promote our folks, wherever they are, to do the same thing. And that's always a great time to see how many people, put money in that red pot. And we've supported that. And we kind of do it departmentally. We'll bring different departments in and work it when we can. We're blessed to have a lot of departments, so we're able to cover a lot of different days for them. And such an important thing this time of year.
It really is. And I'll say we are blessed to work for such a great company, because myself being remote, and we have a lot of remote employees, for us to do something here locally, it's great to see everybody, at headquarters doing all that stuff, but to know that we have the encouragement and support to, go out and do something, something that, can make a difference. Taking food to a food shelf. I mean, my gosh, they're in dire need of, extra food.
I forgot to mention that, we give turkeys and hams, to our employees during the Thanksgiving season. And we also match and give the ability to donate that right back. And we take a large share of those here locally to folks. So, there's so many ways to give back. We do a toy drive at the end of the year, a big toy drive. We always get a great turnout on that, and, bless a lot of families here locally, giving trees. There's so much going on. It's neat to see it. Everyone it's a great time to kind of pile on and feed off each other, the energy, just the feeling you get helping folks out this time of year when we're so blessed to do so.
Yeah. And that's part of it too, is that it's fun, like in our household, some of us in this household, quote unquote, maybe Tammy, I mean, she just loves to do stuff for other people. And I learn a lot from her, and, and to see the joy on her face to do something that's going to, she knows that somebody's going to have a really great day. It could be now, could be right up into the holiday season, or it could be right at Christmas, whatever. She, it's fun to see, and it's fun to see the excitement of being able to positively impact other people's. And, we are, as you said, blessed beyond what we deserve, brother.
We've made a family tradition when so full disclosure, I've done a toy drive probably now for 10 years straight at both places I was at.
Gotcha. Yep.
And so I organized it when I got to Energy WorldNet, and so got to continue to do that just with a broader impact. And so since we started it, and my kids, and as of like Liam when he was little, did it, and then now Mila and Liam both. But what we do is, it's a tradition in our family too for that toy drive, is we go, and now Liam picks out, stuff for boys, and Mila picks out stuff for girls.
Wonderful.
And they get to understand, why we're doing it, where it's going to go, and then when we get to go drop it off, I'm going to try to let them come and help drop it off, to understand how all these little pockets, us doing it, our company doing it, our employees doing it, and other organizations within it, how much of an impact that makes, so they can kind of see it firsthand. So, just feeding that next generation of helpers.
Yeah,
as much as we can.
That's the joy of helping our next generation be better than we are, right? No doubt. That's what we want for our kids, our new people entering in the workplace, all those things. We want them to be better than we could ever have been, and it's good to cast that. I will say this, we talked a little bit about it, I want to bring it up now, the tornadoes that went through mid-continent area, the Kentuckys and such like that, devastating. And I know that you're has some thought process to help those folks, because again, that's 2 weeks before Christmas when this happened, and let's go out to them.
Absolutely. I think we all have kind of monitored that pretty closely. Got a lot of folks without electricity now, in a time when you need it. So we're gonna see what we can do to our friends and colleagues out there. We're gonna work through some of our folks in the region to try to support that and what's going on there. So hearts go out to those folks. Praying for everybody out there.
Absolutely.
Jimmy, in the spirit of giving it all away,
sir.
We were kind of joking about this pre-show, but we're going to take some time off. We've been blessed to record a little bit and put them in the can, if you will, so that we can take a little break and our people can take breaks. But there's a lot of people behind the scenes that really put this show, make these two knuckleheads look good. And I know we try to do a good job of shouting them out, but this episode's a little different. We did want to take some time and highlight some of the work that goes on behind the scenes, because honestly, this show wouldn't be what it is without those touches. It'd just be two weird old men just talking to each other about gas, so.
That sounded so bad, just so you know. Two weird old men talking about gas. Exactly. But you're absolutely right, James. When we started this thing, it was a wing and a prayer, and it was a shoestring operation. And then all of a sudden it started to grow. And we really realized, you and I both had a heart to heart. We're like, we can't sustain this. This is, and people, we try to make this fun. We try to make it lighthearted, and it makes it seem all easy peasy, right? Not a big deal. Hit the record button and go. But I'll tell you, without the folks behind the scenes, we could not be doing that. And I think people also got a glimpse of that. Those were at like the AGA and saw, like,
no doubt,
Ashley was there. That's one person comes first and foremost.
Yeah, I mean, we really, it's about equal time. I want to be sure these folks get the credit where credit's due, because man, they make us look good. That and Zoom filters. No, I'm just kidding. But, one person that really took our idea and shaped it into the way it looks and feels is Amy.
Without a doubt.
Amy's amazing. She's probably putting some graphic about herself up right now. So we're going to let Amy play around with this episode, which is fine with us because she's awesome. Yeah. But we came to Amy with the idea, and she started playing around with logos and our likenesses. And she kind of crafted her own, our first version, which Jimmy, you have a coffee cup there behind you. But really that first one, and then we rebranded in the middle of that. So we created a new one, and then we rebranded Coffee with Jim and James, right?
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
So, right, yeah, and now we've settled in, to where we're at now, and just seeing a consistent brand and feeling and doing it fun, and just letting her have her creativity. She's really brought the show to life, and she's such an awesome person. I got to spend time with her last week, and she's just fun to be around.
Yeah.
And so thankful for Amy. So thankful.
Can I tell a quick story?
Yeah.
We went to a team building. I don't think you were there. I think you were tied up. We went to throw the axes, right?
Oh, yeah.
And we were in Denton, and we're walking around. We had an hour to kill before we got going. And so we're like window shopping and go in and shops all along. Denton's so cute. I mean,
it's for sure. Shout out.
And so we're going in all these stores, and what do? I talk to 1,000 people. I'm introducing myself to workers and everything. And we're walking down the street, and finally Amy, and she's her creative mind is like on steroids, but she's a subtle person, she's kind of subtle. And she finally, I said, how's everybody doing today? Everybody having a good time? She goes, well, I'd be doing better, but you talk to way too many people. Can you just tame it down a little bit? And I'm like, huh? She's like,
there's only an on or off switch. There's no middle.
Yeah. That was still sticks in my heart that time she said that to me. I loved it.
So Amy, thank you for everything you do and making us look so good. I mean, literally.
Seriously. Yep.
Jimmy, another person is behind the scenes that keeps the ship on track. Track. Yeah.
Ship. Let's make sure we said that correctly.
Yes. She runs this project. It's her baby. She makes sure people are scheduled and get the swag boxes and make sure that everything gets produced and ran. It's on rails.
The scheduling,
forward, the coordination.
Yep.
Yes, you can imagine what it's like having two adult children that you have to manage. Kaylee is a rock star and has saved our butts this year by keeping us on track, and we we built a structure to hold sustain this project so that we could continue it even if we started traveling again and win and do our jobs that we have to do also. Sometimes people think that this is all we do. I think it was Connections for Life said somebody came up to him one time and was like, I thought you just recorded shows. Like, I thought that was your job. That is not reality.
T-shirts. And t-shirts.
We get paid for the other job that we have to do when this one's not happening. But Kaylee keeps that thing on rails and works with the other. She coordinates it, and I couldn't be more thankful for her also.
Absolutely.
She's a rock star. Does it sometimes with a baby on her hip,
Hey, that's the world we live in right now.
Yeah. So
I love it.
She's been vital to our success. And you mentioned her before, Jimmy. But Ashley, some of y'all got to meet Ashley with the AGA event that we had. She's been on our show a few times with some projects internally, but she keeps us in the limelight, right? So whether it be the socials or when we're live out in the wild, she was a vital part of that. She also internally keeps us on rails too, making sure people, know who we have coming up and promoting what we need to internally so people can learn from it as well. Yep. So she's been a big vital part to our success too. And seeing it translate live, was, like you said, one of the coolest parts. And I think her getting to come out and see it, was good for her heart too. Yeah.
Two-way street. I mean, she went into it with, I took pictures of her. It was like 6:45 in the morning. We were all at the FedEx facility. Yeah. Isaacson was there. I was there. And she was right up at the front. She's like, these need to be in Charlotte. Da, da, da. I mean, she's really nice, but she's like,
sure.
Wait a minute, we don't have this and that. And she just ran with it. I mean, like, we put her into a situation that was foreign to her at trade shows. We've lived them for 10, 15 years. Yeah. This was like her second or third, maybe fourth one, but she handled it flawlessly. And I'll tell you the one thing, she really interacted so well with potential guests. I don't know if you remember, but she was out in the aisleway and she was acting as a wrangler at times. Yeah. And she would just come up and have a conversation with them and say, okay, you guys
kept us on track. And she captured all the video while we were there. And was the broker between our team and home. So kudos to Miss Ashley. She's awesome. And again, another big part of our success here. And Jimmy, I mean, we could thank the whole team behind the scenes that works on it. Clinton and Scott keep those folks running, and Clinton's done a lot of video work with us. Tony, Antonio back home, he's working as well. Our whole team, Greg, the champion of the show. In person, Greg was just bringing people by, an AGA and SGA, just teeing people up, but and really our whole group, whether it be our network within this industry and that have supported us, but also Energy WorldNet folks.
100%.
I'm sure they got tired of us. I'm tired of us sometimes, but
I'm never tired of you. Never.
And you, Jimmy. What would the show
You're tired of me sometimes.
And we wanted to thank you, Jimmy. What would the show be without Jim?
What would it
just be coffee
Jim?
With James. It would just be coffee. And thank you to coffee.
Well, let me say this though. The reason it works is because you and I have a long-standing chemistry that you can't make. You can't do anything. I'm just being blunt. I'm being honest. We get along
it's
like
not manufactured. This is how we talked before we worked at the same company.
Yeah, exactly. And you just, when you have that connection, did we know we were going to be doing this? Heck no. Even when we started it, we didn't know we were going to be doing this, but it just became so natural. And, and as I say, the accolades that come are the part that I get energized by when somebody says that episode really helped me, or, hey, can you guys do live coffee at our trade event?
Jimmy, think about the last few episodes that we just recorded. Some of the best content we've ever made.
Yeah.
And they're not even live. You won't even see them for a month or two. But knowing that we're making content that's going to land and resonate with people is an amazing feeling. And I remember in one of them here recently going, Jim, the fact that we're talking about what we're talking about right now is blowing my mind.
Yeah.
That this is our show and that we're not just talking about, no offense, but cathodic protection or valves or whatever meter, is latest technology. We're talking about real stuff that's making a difference. And thanks, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, man. I like I said, I think we're blessed if we can. That's the part that I love too, is that people in our industry, energy industry, that may be all about cathodic protection, but they hop on and they learn something about whatever, LNG, CNG, or whatever. Right. Just that cross collaboration, it really is. This platform gives us the opportunity, like what we do at trade events, where we give presentations and you're a master presenter, or talks to, panel discussions, talks at booths, just enlightening people. And I tell you, that's one of the things that this platform, meaning our Coffee Jim James, has helped us, because sometimes people come to us, especially a lot of times me, hey, do you know anybody that does this in the industry? And if I can, it may not have anything to do with Energy WorldNet at this point, but if I give them good advice or can point them in the right direction, and it cuts down 2 weeks of them hunting and pecking to 2 hours, where they can, get on that path. That's
because in the same breath, I mean, we don't talk about it a lot, but next time someone needs OQ, we do that too.
Yeah, we do that.
By the way, we do operator qualifications. I mean, at the end of the day, that is what we do. And it's funny when we get wrapped sometimes and somebody goes, oh, by the way, we need to talk about. And you almost forget that we're on a podcast and that's what we do. But yeah, it's man, we're so blessed, Jimmy.
Yeah, we are.
What a year, 2021. We're putting it in the books. I know for a lot of people it might have been some of the toughest, but some people it's also been a time to stretch their legs, and we're so appreciative to roll into 22 with some excitement, some momentum, and see what the show brings.
I'm excited. I am truly excited because I think 2022, for everything you mentioned, is going to be a big year, a fun year. It's going to be fun. And when I say that, you have to have fun every day with what you do, because our passion for this, it just shows. If we didn't love what we do, we would have been canceled 18 months ago. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited, James. I really am.
Hey, thanks to the audience. Again, we'd just be weird talking in the dark here. So we're thankful you're there.
Yeah.
Man, we look forward to keeping it going. Sharpen the saw, everybody. I hope you have a blessed holiday, a safe and happy holiday. Merry Christmas, whatever you're celebrating.
Yep, absolutely.
God bless from us. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Thank you, James, for giving that send off. Until next time on Coffee with Jim and James, when we're back from our much needed break and sharpening the saw, please, everybody out there, stay safe. Have a great holiday season, and we will see you soon. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
And Happy New Year.
Wait, Happy New Year. Do we do that New Year dance? Thank goodness nobody ever sees these things at the end, James, when I dance like this. Thank goodness they never do.